Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brandon and I still make videos. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at two of the most popular video editing softwares. That's Final Cut Pro 10 and Adobe Premiere Pro. Let's get into it. The intention of this video is not to determine which software is the best, but it's more to highlight the strengths and weaknesses of each program. We'll start out with the pros of Final Cut Pro 10. Pro number 1. Final Cut 10 is really easy to get started with, especially if you're new to the world of video editing. When you open Final Cut Pro 10 for the first time, you don't get scared away by the heavy interface with multiple windows that you don't really need. Instead, you are greeted with a very minimalistic look that provides what you need at the tip of your fingertips. Pro number 2. Being an Apple product, Final Cut Pro X is really optimized to work with Apple devices. This means that it takes advantage of your computer's full CPU strength. What that means is that editing can oftentimes be a breeze. And adding to that, you don't necessarily need a very expensive top-of-the-line MacBook Pro to run the software. You can even run it on a machine like the MacBook Air. At some point, we've all had audio that didn't quite meet our expectations, and that leads us on to Pro number 3.
Final Cut Pro 10 has great sound editing presets, allowing you to edit, enhance, or clean up your audio.
Just like that. The fourth pro of Final Cut Pro is that you can edit one video while exporting another at the same time. Because of its Apple optimization, this software renders video at the background while you continue editing. This software is really for people who want to quickly start and finish a project. Having no monthly subscription fee is the last pro for Final Cut. You only pay $300 or 5,500 rands for a lifetime subscription. Let's move on to the pros of Adobe Premiere Pro. The first pro is that this software offers a more flexible workflow. This allows you to freely move things around and manage your media more efficiently. Secondly, Adobe Premiere Pro works on both Mac and Windows. This will allow you to easily move projects in between both systems. The third pro is that it supports a wide range of video and audio formats. This means that you can import almost any file type without having to convert it first. The fourth pro is that it has multiple output settings. This means that you can easily compress a file to share on instant messaging apps like WhatsApp. But at the same time, it means that you can export a file up to 8K. I doubt you'd need that anytime soon though. The fifth and last pro is the integration of all the Adobe apps. How you can design something in Illustrator, perfect it in Photoshop, make it nicer in After Effects, and finish it off in Premiere Pro. It is this integration that makes Adobe Premiere Pro more geared towards the pro user. Alright, now that the rosy stuff is done, let's get into the stuff that's really annoying about these two programs. We'll start with Premiere on this one. Although they do provide great discounts for students, this software might prove to be a bit expensive for beginners. The reason for this is that you can't outright buy the software. You have to subscribe and pay a monthly fee. If you want the integration that I spoke about, then you have to pay top dollar. That is quite a lot of money to pay on a monthly basis just for convenience. The third con is that the learning curve is a bit steep. It will definitely take you a long time for you to learn how to properly use the software because it's not really optimized for beginner editing. Upon launching the app, you're greeted with many windows that you don't even need. This can easily scare you away and make you consider something less complicated like say Final Cut. The last con is that if you're looking to quickly bang out an edit, then Premiere is not the program for you. It lacks great pre-made templates that you can just drag and drop, make a few minor tweaks and voila. You always have to make a lot more clicks for you to get the desired look and feel, and this can be quite frustrating. Final Cut Pro also has its own gloom. Firstly, the magnetic timeline can get a bit frustrating, especially if you're used to the flexibility of Premiere Pro. Moving one thing around and everything else following can get a bit confusing and will definitely take you some time to get used to. The second con is that Final Cut Pro is an Apple app. This means that it cannot be downloaded onto Windows. With it being an Apple software, it's definitely very difficult for you to move projects to Windows systems. Although it is not impossible through the use of XML files, but that's a topic for another day. If you're looking for a graphic software that's going to interact with Final Cut Pro in the same way that After Effects interacts with Premiere Pro, then you'll need Motion 5. This software costs an additional $50 or an equivalent of 900 Rand. This is all starting to look a bit expensive. Lastly, Final Cut Pro doesn't offer many output settings. If you really want to fiddle with your export settings, you'd need an additional app, Step-in Compressor, which costs an additional $50 or an equivalent of 900 Rand. Did anybody say expensive? Look, if you're only uploading to YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, you might not need this software. But if you're into stretching and compressing files, then this one you're definitely gonna need. So obviously it's going to come down to personal preference when choosing between the two softwares. Are you a new editor that prefers a simple layout that's still delivering pro functions? Then Final Cut is definitely for you. Are you a seasoned editor that's looking for a more traditional editing software with the backing of the Adobe suite? Then look no further than Premiere Pro. The only way to really know what works for you is to try editing a project on both programs. Luckily, they both offer free trials. I'll find the links and leave them down below the like button. If you've used both programs, let me know in the comment section down below which one you think works the best. But for now, keep your eyes on this hoodie because I've got something special coming. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on post notifications. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Sure.